Hello, DSC, and welcome back to another grade 9 English lesson. Today we'll be looking at our first lesson in Unit 2. Unit 2 will be all about short stories and their elements. So things that make a short story a short story. So we're going to be looking at one type of storytelling element today, which is called plot structure. Plot is essentially what happens in a story. What are the events that carry a story from beginning to end, and of course, everything in between. And the main character of our short story today is a little critter that looks just like this. This is called a possum or opossum. And they live throughout the world and even in Canada here. Not in the Thunder Bay or northern community area. It's simply too cold there, but they prefer warmer temperatures, as you can see on the map. So they like BC, Southern Ontario, and also big parts of America and Mexico. So one thing, possums, they're these weird looking creatures and weird acting ones in the sense that whenever they're threatened, they don't attack. What they do is they play dead, in the hopes that the animal, whatever is scaring them, like a dog, will ignore the dead animal. So there are 5 tasks I'd like you to work on today for activity 2.1. The first one is simply watch this video. If you're doing that, good job, guys. Second is I'd like you to go back to your journal, which is located in the course materials section of the classwork tab, and work on journal session number 6. So you're just responding to one of the writing prompts that's in your journal and write for as much or as little as you want. Task 3 is I'd like you to read this story. So you click on the link here and it will take you to this short story. How the opossum. So this is actually a legend from the Cora people of Western Mexico. So the Cora are the indigenous people of that area in Western Mexico. And this is about how the story of how people came to discover fire. So the short story is 4 pages long. And if you notice at the bottom here it says stop, write, switch, number 1. Just ignore that. I use that writing when we're reading in the story in class. So I'd have one group read the story, stop, and switch. And then another group will read the next page. But this story you can just read all on your own. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.25 pages. These 4 activities, you can just ignore them on your own. You don't have to answer them. Just ignore them, please. Task 4 is I'd like you to, so this is a plot diagram. This is how stories are typically organized. You have a beginning, your rising action, climax, and follow action are your middle of the story. And then finally, a story needs an ending. And an ending is often called a conclusion or a resolution. So your beginning or exposition, your conclusion / resolution, and then you have everything in between. So what I'd like you to do is read this short text and then click on this document. So this is just another version of this diagram right here. But what I'd like you to do is tell me what happens in the possum story at each point in the plot. So tell me in one sentence, how does the story start? So you just click on the text box and you can say, people lived without fire or warmth, and they tried getting fire from the sun. When you've typed your sentence, Then you just click save. So that's how the story starts off, is people live without fire or warmth, and they're trying to think of a way at how they can get it from the sun, that big ball of fire in the sky. So just tell me what happens at the other 4 parts of the plot. So that's that. So that's what you do for task 4. You'll get 5 marks for fully completing your plot diagram. And task 5 is just answer 6 questions. And here's the marking scheme for those 6 questions. So you get 25 marks in total, or 29 marks in total, I should say. So these are the questions, and the numbers beside them refer to how many marks each is worth. So if there's 1 mark, you should have at minimum 1 idea or 1 sentence. If there's a 2 beside it, give me 2 ideas or 2 sentences. 3 for 3 ideas, 3 sentences, and so on. And then finally, I'd like you to complete the self-assessment based on your reading abilities. You'll get 10 marks for this, but on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being lowest, 5 being highest, most effective, rate your literacy skill or abilities about the following by just highlighting the number. So if you're not really interested in reading, maybe select 1, click this button here to highlight color, choose your color, and then that will highlight that 1. But if you're able to read well and you follow instructions really well, give yourself a 4. So just highlight those numbers that best fit you. Just be as honest as possible. If you give yourselves all 1s, you're not going to fail the course or get a bad mark on this assignment. I just want to know where you think your skills are at. Next, tell me what you think your 3 strengths are when it comes to reading. And then what are 3 things that you like to be able to do better when reading? So that's today's assignment. So as usual, please follow all the instructions provided. And if you have any questions, you can post to the stream, email me, or meet me in Google Meet every afternoon. All right, everyone. Thank you again for watching, and I hope you have a good day. Bye, folks.